can help us.
According to a recent study made by a coalitional effort of peace initiative allied organizations, there is a significant return on investments on facilitating peace.
We are pioneering this approach with so many partners to look at what is the impact of peace building and quantifying the impact. And what we see across the board is very positive impact that's monetized. We're looking at ratios from, for every shilling invested, getting 7 shillings in value, all the way up to 20 shillings in value. These are conservative estimates of what is the value of peace building, talking to so many different stakeholders about what matters to them. These values are based on the stakeholders telling us directly that this are the outcomes they experience and this is how they value them.
The study, made in Kenya with the aid of data from various socially ingrained bodies, sought to link the realizable benefits of peace in monetary value, utilizing the youth who make a large percentage of population in most nations.
Here for us was then that, we always talk about peace, but when you talk about sustainable peace, then you cannot ignore the space of young people. And for us, it was engagement of young people in peace building processes, but with a tweak to it, which meant then that we also had to target the livelihood components for them. And we have actually realized that one of the most successful ways to implement peace building initiatives and programs targeting young people is to integrate with livelihood and economic empowerment in our communities.
Bottom-up approach. Listen to the people. What do they really need? And if they listen, then they don't have to keep sending aid. It can lead to sustainability, right? And domino effects. So our take-home and what we do at Rural Centers is, again, are you listening? Are you really listening to what the people are saying? And with that, then you're able to have more things happening in the community because it's touching to their heart, to the things that they really care about.
The data collected in the first phase reveals that for every dollar invested in youth-led peace work, $16 are generated from the outcome.
What do you realize? What is your input? What was the most valuable activity? And Kenya has become the first country out of the global efforts to test that concept of measuring the value of peace building as a social return on investment. So we are proud as a nation to be the first nation through the UN process to pilot this or to have this inaugural study that then can be replicated in Kenya in several other programs through the government agencies, through the National Youth Council, and also recommendations back to the state and recommendations back to the UN on what peace building actually means for young people when it's looked at through the eyes of the environment, the economy, and through their social and cultural connections.
That is why we have community-based organizations that are registered. That gives them the legitimacy to do the work within the community and to actually represent the constituents of the young people or the community societies within this grassroots. So these are now the anchors to which the issues within the grassroots are channeled nationally, globally, and regionally.
The youth have been outlined as a major block in peace rebuilding, with the consideration of their specific needs at grassroots level being a key ingredient in realizing the benefits of peace investment.
Focus more on preventive aspects towards solving the issue of conflict. And for a long time, the young people have been left out in terms of negotiations, in terms of mediation, in terms of giving them space to actually influence society and also build their own life. And realize that the young people are the ones who are going to kind of, face the music in terms of the cost of peace, because at the end of the day, when the region is not very stable, you find that they are actually losing out.
The social return on investment assessment has been termed a focal pointer that could aid in the actualization of grassroots goals, merging the initiators and beneficiaries of social initiatives.
Really do have the solutions to their own problems. All they need is someone to really listen to them and help them implement, because they don't even want you to do the whole process for them. They just need you to trigger. You heard about boys in Mombasa who were given gas stands, and now they're morphing out and each one of them is starting their own gas stand. They just needed a bit of empowerment. So people have their own solutions, and I think that's the beauty of aid now. It's just empower them and they'll fly if you listen to them.
The study communicates that every target group has a custom value system that needs to be identified and considered for the success of social initiatives.
Because the conversations have showed us what actually works and what does not work. Where do we need to put more effort, and where have we gotten negative impacts? It also helps us do that, and therefore I would encourage as many peace builders in this particular year, when we are celebrating the 7th anniversary of the Youth Peace and Security, to understand that they can also use the social return on investments as a way of measuring impact in their work.
Just for instance, the Eastern DRC situation. We have had several peace agreements, we have had several peace initiatives, but it's over 30 years. Remember, Eastern DRC at one given point, DRC has had the biggest contingent of peacekeepers in the world. But why is it that we're not solving the problem? And that is why, to us, the involvement of young people is very key in terms of ensuring that the region is stable.
An extended phase of the study is expected to be carried out to speak out on constant variables across different social groups.
This is our first phase, with Kenya pioneering, and we hope to implement this in more countries to build a data bank of indicators and outcomes and how they've been valued, and over time be able to refer to that in time.
Can be used for planning and forecasting.